Look around the house and see where you have like a lot of drafts coming through, and then find a video somewhere that shows you how you might be able to do a DIY fix using some product you can find online or at a hardware store. Seal up that gap under the door. Maybe there's some gaps around the windows. Those are things that you can seal up, and that will stop a lot of air coming into the home. And another idea, this might take a little bit more work, but if you can get into the roof space of your home, check out your insulation. I often find that the insulating bats aren't where people think they are. The last person who went up in the roof to fix a water leak or something would have moved the insulating bats out of the way and never put them back. So you've got this bare plaster where your heat is just leaving out through in the winter time, and the sunseat can come through in the summer. So make sure your roof space insulation is where it should be.
And also use reverse cycle air conditioning, but ensure to clean the filters as well. We tend to forget that, don't we?
Well, that's right. Anything that's blowing air around, whether it's a central ducted heating system or a reverse cycle air conditioner split system, is going to have a filter in there. And so make sure those are clean. Sometimes people find that their system isn't working that well, and it turns out it's because there's a filter that hasn't been cleaned for years. If you end up using the air conditioner a lot for winter heating, check it every couple of months and make sure that the filter's not getting dirty.
Just talk us through some of the the ineffective and costly ways that we're trying to keep ourselves warm, and we think we're doing the right thing.
Yeah, the first thing you have to decide is how to heat a home, and the cheapest way to do it can be with a reverse cycle air conditioner. So these can be far cheaper than using gas for heating or those electric panel heaters. And this is kind of surprising for a lot of people, because we're told in the summertime, don't use your air conditioner, it'll be expensive. But it turns out it's a heat pump, it gets free heat from the air outside, and it's the cheapest way to heat your home.
Yeah. All right, I want to get back to that in just a moment, but I also want to talk about the fact that you're a major proponent for the theory that you should be heating the person and not the room. Explain the science of that to us.
Well, that can be a good way to stay warm. These days there are things you can get, like an electrically heated blanket, or even some of those fairly warm things you can put over your whole body when you wake up in the morning. That's the first thing I do, is I grab the thing to put over my body to stay warm before I can get the heater going. So you don't necessarily always have to heat the whole house. You can think about, well, how can I stay warm right where I'm at? And dressing, appropriately can be a way to save a lot of money.
Indeed. It's all about layering as well, isn't it?
Sure, and I like wool. I see a lot of people shivering in their homes, and they're wearing some of the synthetic products. So if you can find wool, particularly touching your skin, that can keep you warm.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about this reverse cycle air conditioning. And you say that heating a home at around 1/3 the cost of burning gas. Talk to us about the efficiency of the reverse cycle air conditioner.
Yeah, a reverse cycle air conditioner is known over other places as a heat pump, and what it can do, it can actually collect free heat from outside your house, pump it up to a temperature warm enough to heat your house, and bring it inside. So they can be like 400% efficient, meaning, sure, you have to put some electricity in them to run the fan and the refrigerant compressor, but it goes outside and it gets free heat and brings it inside. Compare that with gas, where when you buy gas, the first thing you do is set it on fire, and you lose a lot of the heat going out the chimney stack. So look at the air conditioners. That can be a way to save this winter.
Now, what about those who are renting? Those who are renting, they can't get the reverse air conditioner. So what can they do to try to keep warm within their homes?
Yeah, one trick that people like, you lose a lot of heat out through the windows, and you might wake up in a bedroom in the winter and you'll see the moisture condensing on the windows because they're so cold. A little trick is to use bubble wrap. So this is a way to get something very close to double glazing, but very easily. Spritz some water onto the glass, cut the bubble wrap to size, and just stick it up there. So that's a good way to make the windows a lot warmer and to keep the condensation off in the morning. There might not be a lot to see out of a particular window in a bedroom, so you can try the bubble wrap trick.
Right. It's not very attractive, I've got to say.
Well, that's right. I mean, like I say, if there's not a lot to see out through there, and you might have some blinds and curtains anyway, but it's a way to create a layer of trapped air right up next to the glass, which is a great insulator, and that's why it can keep the windows a lot warmer.
Okay, you talked about blinds or windows, blinds or curtains. Which is better in terms of trying to keep the heat in?
Well, I say that whatever you'd like to sleep with yourself. So the heavy drapes, those are a good way to keep a window warm. There's also these honeycomb blinds or cellular blinds that again trap air in their structure, and air is a very good insulator like that. So the warmest thing you can find, what doesn't work so well would be like the aluminum Venetian blinds or wooden slats. You wouldn't want to sleep with them yourself, and so they won't keep the window that warm.